What's up, my friends? I'm a little bit early, but I tell you what, I am absolutely happy to be here. There's no one else but here. So I'm in Switzerland, and guess what? I have been snowboarding for 3 days now, and it's absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe how much I've been able to progress. And it's kind of a shock because when I first started, I was sober, but when I first started, the 3 days of grueling initiation to the world of snowboarding was exactly that. What's up? How you doing, Mr. Lobo? I am happy to have you here. What's up, Jimbo? Welcome back. Dave, it's great to see you. I'm just talking about, I my initiation to snowboarding was insane. I had to go off this 3,000-meter drop into the darkness because we were having a whiteout and snow was blowing everywhere. And I had never been snowboarding. And that to me was absolutely like it was bonkers. I'm 48 and I don't heal as good as I used to. And to be doing that was ridiculous. This is my seventh trip out, and it's absolutely great to have you here. I'm glancing over at comments on the iPad. We are shooting live from Switzerland. Unfortunately, you don't have like an amazing panoramic view behind me. You have my hotel window, and that's just going to have to do because life is a garden, and we do what we do, right? Hello from Kentucky, Ohio. How many other states we got chiming in here? Um, I didn't really have much plan for this. And so, where I'm going with live from Switzerland is there's a lot of time. Thank you. It is a better connection because I'm on someone else's Wi Fi. I'm on the hotel's Wi Fi, and it's a little bit better than the one I have at home. So, thank you for letting me know that because I was kind of curious if it was going to be as choppy as before. I lost my train of thought once again. Oh, yeah. So when I was on the mountain originally, um, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't belong there. And in normal cases, when I was in that situation, I would have done the number one thing that I know best in order to handle stress, and that was to get drunk. And guess what? I didn't have that in my life, and I didn't need to get drunk about it. And as daunting as the 3 days were snowboarding in a grueling environment, I was able to make it through and I was able to make a little progress before the end of it. Now, live from Switzerland, I am in my seventh time out snowboarding ever. And I got to tell you, I'm doing daggone like tons better. I am learning my technicality, like my technical writing. I am able to articulate to people who don't know how to snowboard the fundamentals of snowboarding, and it's all without a drink. And what it reminded me of is that it is great to have all you guys here. If you are just joining in, hey, drop a comment and let me know where you're from. Let us know where you're from. Say hi to the people in the group chat. I do have some of you guys up here. Matter of fact, I just learned a new trick. I can put your comments on the screen. So if we got something that is hot and heavy and something that needs a little additional attention, then we can put that up on the screen and we can all talk about it. So lost my thought again. So I didn't have to have alcohol in order to deal with the stress. Being able here now to progress in my snowboarding technicality, being able to deliver it to people. This is a Sunday, folks. And what makes that unique is Saturdays and Sundays were my fun day when I was in my drinking heyday, hooray, and all that. So on a normal weekend basis, I would have spent my time getting super drunk instead of being helpful for other people. I think it's a gift that I fell into the job that I have now to be here in Switzerland, daggone Switzerland. And yes, there's cheese everywhere. But to be here in Switzerland and be able to teach other people how to do things in order to have fun versus being self serving and getting drunk all weekend is absolutely amazing. And you know what? Let me know what you think, because we spend a lot of time being selfish as alcoholics and addicts and everything, whatever your case is, and not giving back to somebody else. The human nature of people, and I've talked about this before, is to just do for you, because who else is looking out for you better than you? Man, I'm on it today. And that's what I think is unique about living in sobriety. And that's the first time I'm going to say that S, and that's the last time I'm going to say that S. That's the unique thing about it, because we can stop being selfish. And I talked about this last time, and we can give back to our fellow man or woman, whatever, and be helpful instead of being self serving. There's a few other things that I got rolling around in my head that I could deliver to you guys, but let's hear from you. What is on your mind, and what do you got going on this Sunday? How was your week? How was the past week that you just came out of? What significant changes or events have occurred in the last week for you? Because I know a lot of you out there are having life changes consistently every single day, and you may not want to post them here. That's okay. If you want to holler at me in an email, hit me up on one sober to another at gmail.com, and you know we can address whatever concern you might have privately instead of having to share with the globe. But to be here and to be living sober is incredible. And I think I said it. I daggone said it. Can't help it. I love the life that I have now, aside from the life that I had when I was drinking. Now, I have seen several comments over the last 2 days, I think, of people who are either in a codependent relationship that is based out of drinking and drugging, or someone who has gotten divorced based off of one of the others being an alcoholic or drunk. Now, Dave, I'm going to put that right up there. Dave says the weekend with DB, when he promised a fellow soldier he was going to go paintball, I held him, I held him, I held his word to our soldier. You know what? The reason why that's significant, folks, I had to we were supposed to take some soldiers paintballing a long time ago, many, many moons. And I had spent the entire night drinking. That's what I was doing on my weekend. But I had told these soldiers that we were going to go play paintball. And daggone it, guess what? Not only was I hungover, but I was still drinking on the way to play paintball with these soldiers, with the soldiers in the vehicle. Yeah, that's crazy. But the insanity of my alcoholism told me, you know what? I was functional before. I can do this, and daggone it, we're going to get out there. Now, I didn't want to go, and Dave made me go. And I appreciate that, because, not only did I go, but he held it all together. And, perhaps that was maybe an enabler in certain points, but I'm glad he did it, because losing face with, people who trust you is something detrimental to leadership and detrimental to what it is we're actually supposed to be doing for other folks in that time. Makes sense, like two nickels? Yeah. So that's what today's Sunday Night Live from Switzerland is all about. And, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. And I do have to say that if you have never experienced the insanity of, choosing to eat, choosing to work, choosing to take care of your family over getting drunk or over getting high, then it's hard to understand why this is so exciting for me to be here, why this is so exciting for us to share back and forth. Because if you've never been in that predicament and you've never been in that roller coaster, you're not going to know. So that's why it is good that people are here. That is why it is good that people are able to share with each other. And back to what I was saying with the couples, right? People getting divorced because of alcoholism or addiction, people getting, you know, relationships are bad and codependency and everything else is because, as I was saying in the last live stream, being codependent with an alcoholic in your life is, I don't know, it's kind of like a surprise every day because you never know how the addict or alcoholic is going to behave. You never know what we're going to demand. You never know what we're going to say. And to have to live that life of being on the other side of it and being the person, white knuckling and hoping that today is a good day for you, that's something that is powerful in a relationship. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, as it says in that little ticker on the bottom there. But I do know that not only did my relationship get better, not only did the time with my son get better, but I learned not to be codependent, and my wife learned not to be codependent. Yeah, there's some trial and tribulation. However, that's in every relationship. But that codependency is not a relationship. It's toxic and it will destroy the fibers of a marriage or a relationship. And I'm so grateful that, I don't have to do that. I'm just reading a comment here. Okay, so Dave writes, and I'll put that up on the screen. So Dave writes, let's not think about the others who are the victim of the alcoholic. How do you mean that, Dave? I'm pretty sure I understand, but just for those watching, if you could just put that out there just a little bit, because people in our lives who are victims of, I think I understand, who are victims of what we do in our alcoholism and what we do in our addiction, we don't even realize it until it's too late. Um, and that goes along with once you start doing some work in your life in order to maintain your recovery or maintain what it is that keeps you from drinking, you have to be able to make amends with people, and you have to be able to, you know, try to seek forgiveness if it's possible and forgive yourself at the same time. That's really hard to do. And I think what Dave is saying is that, you know, as we forget about those people that we affected, eventually it's going to come back around. And are you going to be ready for it when it does? Are you going to be ready to hear what you did to somebody else? Are you going to be ready to hear how you destroyed a marriage or how you put the family in debt? Are you going to be ready for those things? Are you going to be ready to explain to your kids that you were this way for so long, but now you're this way, and expect them, or rather, and for them to understand that you are trying to make better changes in your life in order to be there for them? Are you going to be ready for those things? That's what I think when I think of, are we aware of other victims of the alcoholic? Is that, are we ready to acknowledge our part in things? And that is actually part of the healing process. That is part of the recovery process is to be able to identify and be ready to deal with those things. Folks, do we have some lag? Do we have some shutter in the video? On my telefono, it looks really clear. And on my iPad, it looks a little sketchy. So let me know. But we're going to drive on. I like reading these comments. I love reading them. I love when people share with me some things. But the reason why Dave's is kind of valuable is this is firsthand knowledge. So firsthand knowledge of me. I was your victim as your wife and son. With all your hand motion, your video is getting blurry. Okay, let me stop. Maybe it's just like a processing thing. Okay, so yes, Dave was I hate to use the term, but the collateral damage and the fallout of my drinking and my selfishness, and so was my wife and son. I am fortunate to be able to identify that, to be able to accept that, and to be accountable for what it is that I did to harm them through my alcoholism. Now, you may not be ready to do that, like I was saying before, but in order to move forward with your life in fulfillment and be progressible and be service to others, be helpful, you have to be willing to make changes in your life that are going to be advantageous for you and your growth and not apprehensive. So lying about little things, that's got to go. Cheating, that's got to go. Not paying your debts, yep, that's got to go too. So what does that mean? You have to grow up. And somebody wrote me earlier, and I'm going to respond to this. Is that video a little bit better? But somebody wrote me earlier, and they said, and I'm going to paraphrase because I can't exactly remember the whole thing right now. I got a little sunburn from the mountain. And Eli, thanks, brother. I appreciate you being here. They wrote that they want to get better. They want to stop using. They want to stop drinking. And what they found in the breaks that they did is that they don't know things. They don't know how to shop. They don't know how to do life. That's a quote, direct quote. They don't know how to do life. When I stopped drinking, I didn't know how to do life out. I didn't know how to do life either. I didn't know how to. Um, so I didn't know how to do life. I didn't. I'm put this comment on the screen. You can read it. We're going to talk about it in a minute. I didn't know how to do life. I didn't know how to pay bills. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to be in a relationship at all. And I didn't know how to do simple things that I did while I was drinking. So if I learned a trade, if I learned a weapon system, if I learned how to shoot a bow and arrow, whatever, I did not know how to do any of that when I got sober because everything I did I did drunk, hungover, or in withdrawal or whatever. And I couldn't remember these things when I got sober, but it took time. So what I did is I started teaching myself small things like going to the grocery store, like getting the mail, like opening the mail, because I was horrible at mail. I would let that mail pile up until there was nothing left money wise because I didn't pay the bills that was inside the envelope. And I had to teach myself how to do all these small things. Now, I do get embarrassed when I'm not able to do things. I get embarrassed when I'm not able to pick things up quickly. And it's horrible because I'm retired from the United States Army, but I don't remember 99% of my career. That's insanity. But I have to accept that because 99% of my career, actually a little bit less, a little bit more. So about 80% of my career, I don't remember at all. And that's insane. Um, and I have to be willing to take those things that I can't remember how to do and place them in a position to where I can relearn how to do certain things, relearn how to do staff meetings, relearn how to order things, relearn how to, um, process Excel sheets and those kinds of things. I have to relearn all that. One moment. Okay, I'm gonna pop this other one up there. I hope you guys got a chance to read this. Um, DJ Better, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for sharing also. Um, where are you from, DJ? So I'm gonna put this up here from Lobo also because I think this is significant. The reason I'm in Ohio right now is because another brother had a relapse and I'm here putting a boot in the tail. So another brother, right? He could be talking about a service member. He could be talking about his own brother, a veteran or retiree. I'm pretty sure it is a veteran because Dave is awesome. That's my brother in arms. Hats off to you, Ben. So he's helping another person who relapsed, right? And I think that's amazing. And if there's anything I can do, Dave, let me know. Out in Ohio, if I fail at the things that I'm trying to relearn, if I was not in my latter sobriety, hey, shout out to Illinois. Um, if I was not in, or if it was in my early sobriety, there's a good chance that I would relapse. And the reason is because A, I don't like failure. Next, I have a hard time accepting criticism. And then the latter one is that if I'm embarrassed, my fall to is to get drunk. My fall to is to run and hide, put my head in the sand and hope for the best. You know what? Today, today I don't even have to worry about that. Why? It's because I live a different way. I accept criticism, not always with open arms, folks. Not always with open arms. Sometimes I really want to get angry and just lash out. But I also, I I internalize a lot of things. So I have to be able to get things out in the open. I have to be vocal about what it is I mean. I have to mean what I say. And that's actually another reason why I do live is because we have a chance to vent to one another. And that's what I hope you guys can do here is because it is called one sober to another. Um, Mr. Lobo, let me know if I can help out. Eli. Eli says, ah, can I put this on the screen? Let's see. Okay, Eli writes, I personally avoid alcohol because anytime I drink, it creates a sense of desperation and makes me feel like I have to do something extreme. I can completely relate to that, Eli. Um, Desperation is one of those things that, and if you can elaborate and tell me how that exactly applies, or tell us so that we can try to help each other. But how it worked in my life is, when I get desperate, I do things that are absolutely ridiculous. And my desperation came a lot from relationships. And when, like I said, I was an alcoholic who, like, I just couldn't form relationships in the traditional sense. And when I would try, oh, so sorry, guys. When I would try, oh, it takes a long time to set up live streams, by the way, and it's not easy work. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and that's what I did. That's why this phone just fell off of this little pedestal. Um, but I would get extreme. So if somebody would tell me they didn't want to be around me or they didn't want to be with me, I would do some extreme things. I would find the harshest sharp words that I could, or I would get in my car drunk and drive about 120 miles an hour down the road until I hit something that stopped me. Those are the kinds of things that I used to do. And it's unfortunate, but the truth is reality. So, Eli, I thank you for sharing that because a lot of us do extreme things um, when we do get drunk and out of desperation. So I get it. You do you, boo boo. Hey, Dave, you know what? I'm not saying don't drink. I'm not saying not everybody is an alcoholic like me. And Dave never was. You might not entirely be an alcoholic either. That's okay. But something might resonate with you as far as the lessons learned through alcoholism, and I appreciate it. So you do you, boo boo. Got it, mate. And I'm definitely glad you're here though. Thanks for sharing. Wait, did I misinterpret that? I probably did. And that's part of my brain that recesses, and I have to put that in check sometimes as someone living in recovery, is that I have to be able to identify my responses, emotions, and feelings. Now, that's that's a hard battle to tackle, especially because we're used to admitting nothing's wrong with us. We are used to saying everything is great, and if it wasn't great, we were able to just drink it down. Hey, I'm gonna put this one up there too. Dave, I didn't forget about you, brother. All right. Thanks, brother. Yeah, it's a miracle that many of us are even alive after the stunts we did while drunk. That's 100% on the button. Some of the insane things that happened while I was drunk, I have no idea how the heck I'm sitting here. I have no idea how the heck it is I'm talking to you right now. I've woken up under tanks. I have woken up on top of buildings. I've crashed a couple cars. I've drank a couple cars. Shoot, that list is endless. I stabbed my own self by accident. Well, okay, it was in a drunken haze, so I don't know if it was accident or not. There's just so many things. I fell off a building. Phew, I don't know. So you're absolutely right. It's a daggone miracle that I'm sitting here right now. Mr. Lobo, I'm going to put this up there. And, we talked about this last time, but this is the hard truth about alcoholism. Dave lost his brother and to alcoholism, and that is as insane as it gets. So, Dave, I know alcohol is not going to run your life, and I'm so happy for that because he was there for me, folks. I'm so happy that you can recognize the signs of someone in trouble and be able to help. And I'm so completely glad that you are able to talk with candor and be here for other people, like I just said. I appreciate that. Okay, DJ, you're up. You're up. You ready? Because I love it that you just chimed in, DJ. This is from DJ. I really don't like who I am drunk. This is like my 30th attempt to stay sober in 6 months. Josh, thank you. Um, but DJ, I don't like who I was drunk either. And you know what? The more times, the more practice you put in to being a better version of yourself, the not quicker, but the sooner it will become your reality. Now, as long as no one's dead, hurt, in jail, or injured at the cost of your alcoholism or your addiction or just a night of drunkenness, then you have an opportunity to grow. You have an opportunity to stand tall and know that you're valuable. So 30 attempts in 6 months. Have you, I don't want to say this and scare you away, so don't run away if this puts you off. Just put it in the comments. Have you ever considered AA, DJ, Alcoholics Anonymous? Because being around a group of people who can understand what it is you're going through and where it is you're coming from is more helpful than someone just telling you. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if, hey, I like that. I'm wondering if you would think about that. Wait a minute. Okay. Right on, DJ. I'm not going to pressure you out that anymore. But what do you think about this? Do you find this helpful? So as you think about that, DJ, keep trying. That's all you got to do. If you don't like yourself when you're drinking, if you don't like yourself when you're drunk, keep trying. The more you try, the sooner it will happen. And if you need anything that I can help with, just let me know, and I won't even bring up the word AA. I won't even bring it up. There we go. I love this chat, guys. I love this chat. Help each other. This is awesome. AA is not for everybody. That's absolutely right, Dave. And Eli, stay strong, DJ. It's a day-to-day fight, faux show. Eli, that's to DJ. That's awesome. AA is not for everybody at all. I tried a multitude of things to get sober originally. I tried to do counseling. I tried to do therapy. I even tried to like put myself in the hospital. I tried AA, and what I found was if you're not truly ready to get sober, it's not going to happen. If you're not truly ready to quit drinking, it's not going to happen. And it is so hard for me not to use my hands to talk, but it's going to make the image worse. And I think this time because I'm pulling from the iPad also. But I think everybody else in this hotel is using the same daggone internet, so it's probably dragging that down too. DJ, you're awesome. We appreciate you. We're glad you're here. If you need anything from us, just let us know. I'm sorry about the uhs, but I am reading multiple messages at one time. That's a horrible thing. Multitasking. That brings me to that. Multitasking. I was absolutely like on the money multitasking when I was, well, I thought I was when I was drunk. When I was a functional alcoholic, I put that in quotes and I probably blurred the screen. When I was a functioning alcoholic, I thought I could multitask to save nobody's or to save everybody's life. And I could do everything. I could do everything at once, and I could do it to perfection. I could do it to standard. But you know what? I don't know. I I don't think I'm multitasked as well as I could have because now without drinking, I'm able to do so much and complete each task as I go and not have to be concerned if I miss something. And I apologize completely for coughing. Um, I've been up on that mountain all day. I got a little sunburn, and I'm pretty sure I got some windburn and everything else. But it was fantastic, folks. It was great, and I wasn't drunk, and I can remember it. That's exactly right. Okay, I'm gonna put this one up. DJ, I'm gonna take this off because oh, don't mess it up. I think I put you on the spotlight, and I'm so glad you chimed in. I'm gonna put another one up. Sorry about the nice image you got right now. All right. Dave writes, that's exactly right. That's why you struggled so hard. Now he's 8 years, and I'm proud he finally figured it out. No, not really. I had to cover you on a bunch of things. All right. So as far as that multitasking, right? As far as that multitasking, I thought I had it all nailed down. I thought, I'm on my game. And my buddy writes, nope, no, you weren't. He had to cover me. I do. I appreciate it. I probably missed a lot while I was drinking. I mean, I can't imagine that. I cannot imagine that I did everything super awesome because, I mean, daggone it, I was in a haze. I was drunk. And there's no effing way that that is possible. Now I don't have to worry about that. And DJ, if you keep trying, you won't have to not like yourself. And Eli, you're awesome. Um, is a horrible word today. And then this is the follow on from Dave. I got distracted because I saw like the Facebook bubble on the phone from my wife. She just started like having a glass of champagne, so I don't know where that's going to go. She's in Germany, so I don't know. I'll chime in on her in a few moments and see how she's doing. All right. So what else is on your mind, folks? I appreciate everybody who's here. I don't want to leave anybody out who has something on their mind. So if it's here and you need to get it out, blast that out into the comments. If you want me to leave it off the screen, I'll leave it off the screen. I'm not going to put you on blast. I do like that it's in the comments because I think that you guys can be valuable for each other, and you're valuable for me. Don't get me wrong at all. Make sure you tell her I say hello. I will. Dave said make sure he knows my wife, so yeah, I'll tell her hello for you, bro. But get things out. What I was saying is, you guys help me as much as I try to help you, and that is something that I will not take for granted, and I will not put anybody on blast. Ooh, I like this. I'm gonna put two up here, okay? Eli, I'm gonna put your message up there because that's cool. All right, so I got Eli up there, right? Eli writes, I personally try to avoid certain TV shows and movies, as it seems like so many of them have scenes of people drinking. I don't know if they're trying to program us to drink or what. Of course they are, Eli. It's all advertisement. It's all I don't want to go on a conspiracy theory or anything, but I mean, if you're seeing like alcohol and stuff in movies and all that, that is definitely like targeted to you guessed it, drinkers. But so what I found with that is I can watch Shameless and I can watch people get high, I can watch people get drunk, I can watch people um just destroy their lives. But at the same time, I can relate to that and I can flip the switch to that and watch a movie like In Flight, where Denzel Washington ultimately decides to drink and do coke, and then he crashes a plane. But then later at the end of the movie, he is accountable to what he did, and he's able to see that there's nothing left, and he has to make changes in his life. And I love that kind of blossom because I was kind of that person. Is everything was pretty much disintegrated and burned to the ground near the end of my drinking, and there was nothing left. So I had to come to terms with who it is I was when I was drinking. And then for me, that meant, I was a daggone narcissistic train wreck, and I had to make certain changes. And if I didn't, I was going to ultimately die. So I made these changes, and I am flourishing now. And that's why I would like to pass these things on to you guys. I appreciate it. You're absolutely right. Okay, I love an alcoholic. So she writes, or he writes, you're absolutely right about that. You need to be ready to quit. For me, that day was September 17th, 2017. Congratulations, I love an alcoholic. That is monumental, and that is wonderful. And I know you have a lot of wisdom. You know, mine's coming up too. Some people don't like to track sobriety dates, and they see it as a crutch, and look down on it. But for me, it's kind of like a birthday, and it's kind of like, if it's the point in your life where you become a brand new person, I think it's important to remember that. I think it's important to say congratulations and happy birthday. Mine is on February 21st, 2016 is when my first day of sobriety was. I mean, it's not for everybody, and it's not easy to live sober. Matter of fact, it's some days it's really hard to live sober, but that's why it is such a gift, because I don't have to go to the crutch. I don't have to go to that solution that I knew daggone best to solve my life problems. I got folks like you who I can come talk to. I can push that out there to the universe. I don't have to bottle anything up anymore. So that's why it's absolutely fantastic. Mr. Lobo, audio getting choppy. You know what? I think it is. I think everybody is on the internet right now. I saw that just blur. With that being said, folks, life is a daggone garden. I hope you flourish. I appreciate everybody who's here. I appreciate you taking the time to be a part of One Sober to Another and to be a part of this community. Here in the comments, don't stop just because I stopped the live feed. Matter of fact, StreamYard's going to end it right about now. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you. If you got anything for me, just drop it in the comments or shoot me an email at onesobertoanother@gmail.com. You guys have a fantastic night. DJ, thanks for showing up. Bye-bye. Shane, hey, you're late, but hello to you. I got to go. StreamYard's cutting me out.